Could you imagine having the ability to create a digital universe where you can literally cross over any movie, any genre, real, fiction, cartoons? I mean, if you really sit back and look at the foundation that Fortnite has created, it has made a universe or a multiverse that really has no bounds. It's almost like they took a page out of Dungeons and Dragons playbook with how imagination is truly the only limit. It's kind of hard to even fathom what kind of creativity that allows. It's almost hard to even come up with ideas from scratch because it's just so many options all at once. Fortnite has acquired many companies that have breathtaking technology that they can take an image and convert it into a digital space for you to occupy as a player. They can take images of objects and make them virtually usable in the game. They have the ability to create something beautiful, and they've gotten so good at their CG graphics, their computer graphics, that they have the ability to make something as beautiful and original as Avatar. But they have a one-up on Avatar. They have zero limits. There's all these new engines that allow people to make these incredibly realistic scenery. And with all these new lighting techniques with Unreal Engine, they could literally use Unreal Engine to create an entire movie. They could be in a universe where Hulk Hogan and the Hulk and Darth Vader all have a dance off and no one screams blasphemy, They can literally bring in famous streamers as characters in the movie, like Ninja tag teaming up with Master Chief, Lara Croft, Terminator, the cast of Stranger Things. And they could all be fighting Decepticons and toy soldiers, gremlins, giant worms, ghosts. And honestly, they could probably make it a believable story. They've already done over 100 crossovers with so many different styles. They now have the tools to make one of the most epic movies of all time. They could bring in anime characters from every culture. They can go back and forth in time, dimension to dimension. When you really take a step back and look what they've created, it's nuts. Now, before I get deeper into this video, I really want you guys to comment on this video, and I want you to come up with maybe a storyline with no bounds. Any movie combined with any movie, like what would be some of the most creative and fun storylines that you could possibly come up with? Be as elaborate as you want, be as vague as you want. Another check in Epic Games Corner is they have the cash flow to do whatever the heck they want. They could have the most intricate voice acting crew of all time. They could bring in artists like Lil Dicky and write the whole music for the entire show. They could pull some of the greatest scriptwriters from every genre, lock them on the Bahama Island, and have them focus on what matters the most, which is creativity. If you haven't heard, there are rumors that Fortnite are making a movie. Nothing is solid yet. If you haven't listened to any of my podcasts, they're some of my least listened to, least viewed on my channel. And that's cool. I mean, not everybody's into podcasts. But if you were able to make it through the one about all the different companies that Epic Games acquired, they have made some massive headway in the ability to create videos. I'll throw that link in the description below. Maybe after this video, if you got some time. It's pretty interesting, all the companies they've acquired. Now, with all that exciting stuff to think about, let's get back into Fortnite trading card topic. So I've actually been getting questions on should I buy, should I sell, should I hold? And honestly, that's a great question. So let's really dive into what's going on in the world today and how that affects trading cards. Bitcoin is down 50% from its high. Cryptocurrency holders that were major Luna investors have had their funds reduced to effectively zero, no matter how many times they tried to catch the bottom. And then they just created another Luna coin so that just to make sure it doesn't bounce back, I guess. I mean, it's pretty much an entire scam, but that's a completely another topic. Stocks have zeroed off from their entire gains from last year, even though we did just have a rally today and yesterday. And truthfully, the overall trend of the market is pretty negative considering the Feds keep raising the interest rates. Interest rates are over 5% in some cases. And with the millions and millions of new mortgages, that's $300 to $400 extra out of people's pockets that they could have been using on stuff that makes them happy, like trading cards. Gas prices are literally 100% higher than they were last year. Rent is well over 8.5 inflation that they claim. And I personally think it's comical that they claim inflation's only at 8.5% when clearly it's closer to 20 to 30%. Just after we approached the $15 minimum wage, that quickly turned into a non-livable wage. And do we stop here? No. Vehicles have gone up over 30%, some 100% like trucks. Bonds and stocks were both on the decline. when typically they counter each other. Online retailers have taken a massive cut on earnings because it turns out we can't afford to buy shit right now. So where does collectibles fall into all this? Well, unfortunately, collectibles only prosper when people have extra cash flow. However, I would not lose hope, especially with some of the high-end cards in Fortnite. We have seen some incredible sales despite the worst economy since I've pretty much been alive. People are having to second guess what they buy. So what that has done is it has brought attention back to the top cards. For like 6 months to a year, people were starting to spread their money across the entire collection. We were seeing highs on tons of cards that typically were trading pretty low. So here's my personal stance on where we are today. Unless you had balls of steel and bought a ton of options, put options specifically, your money's probably a little tight, or you're at least preparing for the worst. People are definitely realizing they spent entirely too much money on trading cards, so there are a lot of sellers right now, which overall has caused the market to go down. So what we're seeing, surprisingly, the top cards really haven't been affected too much, but all the cards that fall out of the top 25 or so have taken a massive hit. Some of the lowest prices on cards we've seen since December of 2020. Many cards are finally in a reachable place for new collectors and get some gem mint cards in their collection. It's a never-ending cycle of changing hands. It really is. So without a doubt, we are in a buyer's market. If your collection is still in the green and you're really hurting for cash, then it is what it is. Trading cards are just an art at the end of the day. It's not like a natural resource, and it's definitely not canned food. But with that being said, art will always prevail in our society. And that's exactly what trading cards are. They are the modern version of art. Nostalgia is by far one of the most powerful feelings. We can only appreciate it when life is good, though. And we have a hard time reflecting when the economy is crap. A lot of folks are really hurting right now, and they're selling their collections. And truthfully, they're probably going to be pretty sad once their money bounces back. But you got to do what you got to do. Now, one thing to consider, and this thought is always in the back of my mind, it may sound far-fetched. It literally would take one EMP to take out most of the United States. So having things that are physical, in my opinion, are better than having things that are in the electrical side, like blockchain trading cards and such, and NFTs. Feel free to gamble away your money in the NFT realm if you so choose. But me personally, I like having physical things, and that's why I invest in trading cards. If you're good with your money, I highly recommend you hold or buy at this current time. The OG collectors that came up short in the beginning with completing their sets are definitely making some headway on getting their full sets. And we're seeing a lot of new faces, just like we always do, because there's a cycle, a never-ending cycle, honestly, of new and old people coming in and out of the community. And weirdly enough, this community is so different than any other one I've ever been a part of. Everyone knows who everyone is. All the big timers, the high rollers, everybody knows their names. Some people try to keep it secret and collect privately, but truthfully, you can't hide money. Some things to think about if you're looking to expand your collection and you're just not sure if you want to pull the trigger. Remember that only about 1% of all the die-hard Fortnite players have any idea these cards even exist. They are the best kept secret of all time. Seriously. So I do want to thank all my early subscribers. I remember a lot of your guys' name, that's for sure. I don't make like the most lavishing videos, and I 100% do not spend any time on that YouTube algorithm crap. I just put out content and that's it. I don't do any advertisement. I don't do nothing. The fact that I'm way ahead of schedule just shows you that people are coming into this hobby faster than you probably think. And the other check in your box if you're considering on investing now is scarcity always wins in the end. We humans are obsessed with scarcity. It's built into our genetic code. It's really that simple. Fortnite cards are their own caliber. They set the bar for scarcity. But that's a lot of thought for you guys. I have some more content coming. Look forward to seeing you then. So thanks again, guys, and I'll see you on the next video.